The No Fate channel, checking in. And on this episode of the supplement review, I am reviewing 4 rehydration powders, and I am going to be comparing them head to head. We have Gatorade. We have from Nutrabio.com their Reload Recovery Matrix. Also, we have, which is made by Gatorade, Propel. And we have a new one that's new in the market in the past year and a half or so, Liquid IV. If this is your first time to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. On this series, I simply review a supplement, or in today's case, I take a few supplements, review them, and then compare them head to head against each other to help you decide what's right for your fitness goals, your health needs, and most importantly, that hard-earned money. Now, if you've ever worked out, whether you're an athlete or just a weekend warrior, you know the importance of hydration. We've seen studies again and again just showing not only the importance of hydration, but rehydration. And obviously, it's not about just putting a whole bunch of water down your throat. It's about replenishing those vitamins and minerals that we sweat out, that our body just leaks out during those tough workouts. Now, oftentimes, we know it's not the real name of the game in the supplement industry or in the marketing industry to kind of sell you on rehydration. The big thing today's day and age is like intra-workouts as well as pre-workouts. People love their pre-workouts. I get so many requests to review all these different pre-workouts, and people often lose sight of rehydration, and it's easier said than done to rehydrate. People think that they can just drink a whole bunch of water and they're fine, but the reality is during those really tough workouts, we're beating up our bodies a lot more than we realize, and that replenishment, that rehydration is a key factor, and it goes a lot further beyond just kind of putting down, a 20-ounce water when your workout is done. So today, we're going to go over 4 rehydration powders, compare them individually, and then head to head to help you decide what is going to be right for your rehydration needs. Starting off with the biggest name in the game, Gatorade. If you ever turn on any type of sports entertainment, you can't miss them. They're everywhere in terms of their advertising. And if you were ever a kid that played in Little League sports, you probably got handed Gatorade during or after the game. So let's start with them. So their biggest claim to fame is their advertising budget. They have been around for a while, so they were probably one of the first to market in terms of, a rehydration drink. Now, they do come obviously in plastic individual size containers, and the reason I'm not reviewing those versus the powder is because they're a lot more expensive. You're essentially paying for the convenience of having it in a bottle and literally paying for water. You're literally paying for water. So that's why we're going to review the powders, because they're much more economical and hopefully give you a better idea of where they stand. So let's quickly just talk about flavors. They've got a million of these flavors, and they taste pretty good, in large part because of the amount of sugar that they dump in here. One serving of this Gatorade is 21 grams of sugar. 21 grams of sugar. That thing is ridiculously. The majority of this scoop is 21 grams. One serving size is 23 grams. So 21 grams of that is absolutely sugar. In terms of the rehydration aspect of it, of course, you've got your calcium, you've got your sodium, and you have your potassium. But again, the large claim to fame is that sugar. This comes in at about 30 cents per serving, depending on the size of the tub or whether you buy it at BJ's or Stop and Shop. It can go from like 30 cents to 50 cents. So you get the idea. It is pretty cheap per serving. Overall, though, as far as a rehydration product, personally, I don't think it does a very good job. The reason being, it's got all that sugar in it. And their biggest claim to fame is, frankly, their advertising budget. Let's face it, the reality is most of us, when we are working really hard, very few of us are looking to bulk, right? Very few of us are looking to maintain our weight. Most of us are looking to cut down. So when you're working out hard, the last thing you want to do is burn those calories, try to burn those fat, and then just immediately replace it with really cruddy sugar. The only reason you would really want Gatorade is during some of the most arduous workouts you can think of, like a marathon. A really tough obstacle course race, something where your body needs that sugar immediately. That's the only time you would really want to take in a Gatorade during or right after your workout. That's it. Sticking with Gatorade, another product that they make, well known in large part because of that advertising budget, Propel. Now, this is an electrolyte and vitamin powder. This comes in at a meager 2.4 grams per serving. Now, one of the things that is weird about this product is that it says it has 0 calories. But in one of the ingredients in here is maltodextrin. Now, maltodextrin, as far as I know, is a carbohydrate source that is absorbed very, very quickly. I don't know if they come in under a certain threshold, so they don't have to count it, but it's listed on the ingredients panel, 4 down, maltodextrin. So I don't know how they get away with saying 0 calories on the bottle, but it's not 0 calories. It is going to have at least some sugar in there, I guess you'd call it. I wouldn't say sugar, carbohydrates. But again, at 2.4 grams, it can't have much of anything in here. So what does it have? 0 carbs per se. Again, maltodextrin, I don't necessarily know if that's accurate. It's got potassium, vitamin E, B6, B12, vitamin C, niacin, pantothenic acid, and then it has calcium and hydrochloride. So this is a straight up electrolyte drink, supposedly, again, 0 calories. Comes in at 30 cents per packet, depending on where you buy it. Comes in at 30 cents per packet, comes in a number of flavors. I will list it up here. It also comes in pre-packaged bottles, very similar, as you would imagine, to the Gatorade bottles. The reason I'm not reviewing those is because you're paying 100% for water in that case, because this serving size is, again, 2.4 grams. I will say there is a high level of convenience because they come in these small packets and you can tear them open and dump them out. Overall, taste-wise, again, I'll put all the flavors that they have up here. Taste-wise, not too bad. It's more of like a light flavor when you mix it as prescribed. It's not overpowering like you would get from Gatorade, which has all the sugar in it. It is pretty good in terms of flavoring, and it's not too sweet. Coming in with an absolute behemoth of a scoop size is Nutrabio's Reload Recovery Matrix, 27.38 grams. It is absolutely massive, and 0 grams of carbs. 0 carbs, so those ingredients are 100% ingredients and not just a bunch of sugar dumped in here. So one of the things, if you've watched this channel for a while, I am a fan of Nutrabio. Made in the US of A, made in a GMP facility, third-party tested, full label transparency, all that good stuff. But one thing that they do well, one thing that they do above all else is that they stack their products with an absolute laundry list of ingredients. So let's quickly go over. I got kiwi strawberry. I've tried 2 flavors in their Reload. I put all their flavors up here. Really good, really refreshing, more on the tropical side that I enjoy, but they've got a whole list of flavors, and overall their flavors are really good in my opinion, mixed as described. Sometimes I will add a little bit of extra water just to kind of get that rehydration in, as we talked about at the top of today's video. So let's go over the ingredients. We've got, for electrolytes and for rehydration, taurine, calcium phosphate, sodium phosphate, potassium phosphate, magnesium. And that's one of the things that Nutrabio does. They don't just put in the ingredients, they put in the best versions of those ingredients. They also threw in branch chain amino acids. During those workouts, you're breaking down that muscle and you want to rebuild that muscle as quickly as you can following that intense, strenuous workout. 8 grams of branch chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Following up with more amino acids, they've got muscle recovery accelerator, glutamine 5 grams, carnitine L-tartrate 1.5 grams, orthogonine alpha ketoglutarate 500 milligrams, and then glycerin 500 milligrams. As you can see, this laundry list of ingredients is almost too long to go over. I'll put all the ingredients up here so you can see them for yourself, clear as can be. How much does it cost? If you go over to Nutrabio.com and you use my code, you can get this for $1 per serving, which is fair considering that scoop size. The 4th rehydration powder that I want to go over is Liquid IV, and a product that has really grown in popularity because of their advertisements. They got sponsored by the Spartan Race, which is why I was able to get my hands on a few samples. They actually sponsored the Joe Rogan Experience, one of the top podcasts that's out there, and they've sponsored a number of other advertising feeds that have seen them grow in popularity. What is it? It's a hydration multiplier. If you go to their website, they claim that this will actually multiply the amount of water that you drink because it has all the electrolytes and other stuff. It has a CTT, cellular transport technology. Not quite sure, how that really plays out in the reality of the science and what they're claiming, but I will say it's non-GMO and it is an electrolyte drink mix. Comes in a bunch of flavors. I'll put them up here. The 2 flavors that I was able to try, passion fruit being the latest one, they're good. I mean, they taste pretty good, and you're going to find out why. Number one reason is that each one of these packets has 11 grams of cane sugar. So one of the things they do, which is a step above Gatorade, is that they actually use cane sugar versus whatever Gatorade's throwing in here. And they only put 11 grams in per serving. Serving size, for that matter, is 1 stick, 16 grams. So 16 grams total, 11 grams of cane sugar. And that's part of the reason these things taste really good, because you're getting that sweet sugar, especially when you want it the most post-workout. Also in this packet, you've got vitamin A, vitamin C, a host of B vitamins, which I am a fan of, and then sodium and potassium. How much does this cost? Well, we know advertising isn't cheap, so $1.50 per serving. Obviously, you're paying in part because of the convenience and the marketing that they have behind it. $1.50 per serving takes the cake in the 4 that we're reviewing, but I will put the website up here, and I will put all of the flavors up here. I think you can save more money on this if you actually buy it in terms of a subscription, so that they send it to you like every month. They send you 30 every month, something like that. I don't know how I feel about that, but just a heads up if you are looking to get this cheaper than $1.50 per serving. I'm going to do my final breakdown of these 4 and do a little bit of ranking of these to help you decide what is going to be best for your fitness needs and your current workout regime. So let's go. Number 4 by a long shot is Liquid IV. I happen to think that it's overpriced, and I think it's overhyped. If you go to their website, I think a lot of it is just smoke and mirrors in terms of what they're trying to sell you versus what they're actually delivering. Overall, I don't necessarily think it's a bad product. I just think it is, again, overpriced for what you're getting. Coming in third, now these rankings, from here on in, the rankings are going to be hard to quantify because everyone's got different workouts and different needs. Let's just quickly talk about Gatorade. Now, people want to bash Gatorade, and I'm probably one of them because of all the sugar that they dump in here. But overall, if you are running a marathon, a half marathon, if you're running a Spartan race, if you are training for some long competitive ultra marathon, right? You get the idea. You're doing something ridiculously intense that you're going to need to replenish that sugar immediately. Gatorade is your baby. Why? It's inexpensive, especially in powdered form. That's definitely the way to save money. And the flavor is there, and it's convenient because it is sold just about everywhere. So before you poo-poo Gatorade, it does have its purposes. But overall, I think Gatorade tends to be a lot fewer and far between for those purposes than I would give it credit for. And frankly, I hope not to have to give it to my kid on too many occasions, opting for one of these other choices. Now, most people, if you go on and read some of the reviews of Propel, they're going to say it's junk, that there's not much stuff in here. And I wouldn't disagree with them, but I wouldn't agree with them either. I think for the price point, which is super low, and for the fact that it's got a few electrolytes in here and probably very little maltodextrin, as we kind of beat to a pulp earlier in today's video, you can't go wrong. So 30 cents per serving. If you buy it at a good price, you buy it in bulk and avoid the actual bottles. The price point is there, and you are going to be getting electrolytes. You are going to be getting the stuff that you are going to be sweating out, and sometimes less is more. I know a lot of people that are on a ketogenic diet love to get those electrolyte drinks in because it helps them kind of prevent the keto flu and just feel better overall. Overall, because of the convenience factor and the price point, I happen to think Propel is a fairly good option for many of you, especially because the taste is pretty good with regards to the flavors that I've tried. More of an enjoyable, relaxing taste than an overpowering sweet taste. But hey, for 30 cents per serving, not too bad. I will say, if you're one of those folks that just wants those minerals and electrolytes, then it might be better for you to simply go out, get a bunch of Himalayan pink sea salt, and just sprinkle a little of that into your water. You're probably going to get about the same thing for even less money. Now, my personal favorite, my personal go-to for me is going to be Nutrabio's Reload Recovery Matrix for a number of reasons. But frankly, October 2019, when I had my half marathon on less than a week's notice, boom, I made sure to pack my Reload. They do transparent labels, made in the US of A, third-party testing, and that 23-gram scoop is absolutely massive, especially when they don't dump in a whole bunch of sugar or carbohydrates that you don't need, especially when you're working out hard. Like you get on the elliptical, you get on the Stairmaster, you do an hour of Stairmaster, right? The last thing you want to do is then dump in a whole bunch of sugar into your system, or even just carbohydrates in general. You want to recover, but you don't want to recover with the wrong stuff. You just spent an hour on the Stairmaster for that specific reason. At $1 per serving, it is higher than some of the other options that we've covered today, but at 23 grams, you're getting what you pay for, and that's usually how life works. If you have any questions regarding the 4 rehydration powders we talked about today, or if you think my ranking or loose ranking is unjust, unfair, hey, drop it in the comments below and we can have a discussion about it. If you have come this far in the video, do me a favor, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to put links to all 4 of these products that we talked about in the description of today's video. So if you're interested in buying any of them or looking at them or just checking out the cool websites, click on those links and help yourself. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you be a great parent to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I provide ideas and insights to help you save time, money, and your sanity. 3 things that are in short supply for every parent out there.